Hey, well, I'm standing in front of my little Canadiana by Noma. It's actually a Stiga Park 2000E. It's made by Stiga. This thing is old. This is probably 30 years old, this little tractor. I think it's a 12.5 horsepower, 11 horsepower, 3600 RPM, 399 cc, synchro balanced. Really good little motor. This is a tractor I bought 20, probably 23, 24 years ago, and more than that, 25 years ago, and I had to build a new mower deck for it. The mower deck was rotted right out, so I took an old oil tank from a furnace and I cut it out with the torches and grinding discs and this and that, and fabricated that mower deck. I bent it around the front there. This little bend down, and anyway, it was I bought it really cheap because of that. Well, the belt just went on it last night, so it's a constant battle, which is a shame because I just was at I picked up those two U-joints yesterday and I installed one of them, and that's the place I can get belts, really good quality belts, Gates. You can get the green ones, you can get the top quality belts. Nowhere else in the city can you go to get them. So if it would have happened 2 days ago, I could have picked up a belt there. But so here it is. This is a great little tractor. I put a new seat on it a few years ago. I dumped a pile of money into it. This cable right here for the transmission shifter is worth a fortune. I think it's like 150 bucks. I almost scrapped the tractor, but I thought, well, it's always run good, that little motor. So, and there was something else I bought for it too. I spent money on this, the seat. That's right, probably the seat. A couple other little things. I remachined a new axle for it. I think that's it right there. It had broken. So the first thing I ever did, that's the first video I made, which it's not up there anymore. I don't think there was enough views on it. And it's also the first milling machine job I did. I used my milling machine to machine 2 flat sides for the Gjord to go on. I bought a new battery for it. That's what I did. I spent money on the battery and the cable, but you know, for my wife and my kids, I can't ride this thing. I'm too heavy. But for someone that weighs 100 pounds or so, it's a great little tractor. It's rear-wheel drive, articulates in the middle, turns on a dime. Doesn't have power steering, but I've changed that cable for the steering at least once, maybe twice, I forget. That's the other thing that always goes on these, but you can see it'll go right around a tree. Never miss a blade of grass. It's like one of the first zero-turn models. Someone ran into the picnic table and broke the fiberglass fender. It's supposed to look like this, but it's still going, and the spring got lost. Attaches from here down to that eyelet right there, and you can raise and lower the mower deck with that, but it's gone. Here's the underside of that mower deck. You can see that center blade hit a tree stump. This was the start of all the problems. Bent both ends of that blade. These blades are almost done. They come new with a bit of an angle ground into them like that, but they're very expensive blades, and I don't even know if I'm going to try and get a set. But for now, I'm just going to straighten these. I'm going to heat that up at the torch, straighten that, both ends, and sharpen them and keep using them. They're 14, they're metric, I think. They're around 14 and a quarter inches, 14 and something, 1/8 of an inch. It's kind of a Mickey Mouse configuration. You got Mickey's head in the middle, and then you got the 2 ears. And frontwards is that way, so these rollers in front, you know, give it the striping a little bit, but you know, I always found the smaller the mower deck, the nicer the job of cutting grass. It goes a little slower, but does a nicer job. So I always like this little lawnmower, even though it's slow as molasses cutting grass with it. I prefer the 72-inch 28 horsepower diesel, but it doesn't fit in a lot of places. So I ordered a new air filter for it, and it's been years and years since I changed the air filter. This one, the dirt is on the inside, it's stamped right in the middle there. It says dirt collects inside cartridge, remove plate to inspect. So it's not too bad, but I ordered a new one anyway. It might be a long time before I get another one. I'm going to blow this one out with compressed air because I won't have that one till probably Monday or Tuesday. And we're going to cut some grass today. Okay, so there's the new belt I ordered. I picked up 71 inch, and it's a notched, what they call a notched belt. And they recommend this type of belt when you've got these like super small pulleys, and that's about a 3 3/4 inch, 3.5 inch. So when it's turning on such a sharp, small pulley like that, it allows it to bend more, flexes a little better, and still has the strength of a normal belt. I think they're a bit more expensive, but seems to work. And one of the nice things I like about this mower deck is you can raise and lower this mower deck from the driver's seat. I can reach it. Someone with short arms can't, but I can. So if you're going in a spot where you know there's some rocks or some tree stumps, whatever, you can put it up a notch or two, keep cutting and drop it back down to, normally I leave it in 2, I think, which is, I don't know what height that is, but it's a nice finish cut. So, well, I'm going to straighten those blades and mount that on there and cut some grass. Old set of blades here I've got from, I bought these years ago, Stiga rotor knife. And here's a little tractor. So it's the same kind of same setup as this one. I put a new seat on this a few years ago. I had to weld in a couple of flat bars to bolt it on. The old seat was really difficult to adjust. This one's real simple. One little lever over here, and tell people it goes way back. So anyone can jump on this and start cutting grass. One thing I should have mentioned about this, I stopped using it a few years ago because the shifter, this is the shifter right here, you got 5 speeds and then you got reverse. Well, it's on the front of the tractor and it goes through that center pivot point. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, it's an articulating tractor, so it's got a really unusual shifter cable, which is really expensive. And what the money I dumped into this to get it back up and running with the seat, the battery, and the cable was probably more than what I could sell it for. But I just thought, well, we'll just keep it and keep using it. It goes into tight spots. My kids are fairly young, so it's a perfect tractor for them to drive. It's not hydrostatic, but I think it's good for them to learn on a manual transmission, because clutching and changing gears is the way it used to be. Not everything was hydrostatic drive back in the day. We had to actually physically change gears. So okay, so the oil change is done. Nice clean oil. And I wanted to show you this. Stiga is probably a European company. If it would focus here, you could read. Before start, read off the oil level. One word, oil level. So, thanks for watching.